Ukraine says it is under a nuclear threat. It warns that Moscow is gearing up for attacks on the country's nuclear power substations, one that will create devastating ripples across the European region. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says Russia's motive is far more dangerous than what appears on the surface. Here's a report.
Ukraine believes that Russia's next attack might be nuclear. Ukrainian intelligence has gathered that Russia is considering strikes on electricity transmission substations that support nuclear power plants. These facilities are critical to keeping reactors stable and connected to the grid. By pushing the energy system to a breaking point, Moscow could be trying to force Kyiv into concessions. Military analysts warn that targeting these substations could have serious consequences. If nuclear plants are cut off from the grid, the substations will rely on backup diesel generators to maintain reactor cooling. If those backups fail, a nuclear emergency could follow in a matter of minutes. Russia has the capability to carry out such strikes using long-range nuclear-capable Oreshnik missile systems. Earlier this month, that capability was highlighted when Russia announced a high-speed ballistic missile strike in the western Lviv region of Ukraine. Ukrainian officials say that the missile carried no warhead and appeared to be designed as a show of force. Ukrainian agencies report that Russian forces have conducted reconnaissance on at least 10 key energy sites across 9 regions. This has raised fears that the groundwork for a broader campaign is already underway. Any large-scale disruption there could leave millions without heat or electricity at the coldest time of the year. Civilians are already coping with limited power as repeated strikes damaged energy infrastructure nationwide. Cutting nuclear plants from the grid would deepen the crisis further.
This idea came to me yesterday at midnight. I was just lying under the blanket. I said, I'm freezing. I want a fort. I just wanted some kind of feeling, I don't know, of safety, of childhood. People wrote to me on threads, why not a tent? Well, firstly, we don't have a tent. What's a fort? It's something we make out of what we already have. And well, obviously we didn't have a tent at midnight yesterday.
Russia's continuous attacks on Ukraine's energy system has already forced rolling blackouts across the country. The Ukrainian government has declared a state of emergency in the energy sector. To prevent total grid failure, authorities have imposed controlled outages. This has left millions without electricity for hours at a time. In the capital, Kyiv, half of the population is without power.
There was no such difficult situation in Kyiv since the beginning of the war, and it's the first time in the history of our city that, in such severe frosts, most of the city was left without heating and with a huge shortage of electricity. There has never been such a challenge and pressure on critical infrastructure, on people who work.
Fighting continues along the freezing front lines. Russia claims its forces have taken control of 2 settlements in the Donetsk and Zaporizhzhia regions. Ukraine says it has repelled attacks on multiple fronts. Moscow also reported strikes on more than 160 targets. This includes energy and transport facilities, ammunition depots, drone sites, and troop positions. Ukraine faces a growing challenge. Sub-zero temperatures plunging to minus 17 degrees Celsius, strained power grids, and now the threat of further attacks on critical infrastructure. As the fighting rages on, the question remains, can Ukraine withstand another major blow? Bureau Report, WION. World is One.